wrapped up in my sleeping bag, looking out the window at Aaron's house as the sun is beginning to creep over the horizon. And the trees are silhouetted black against the emerging blue sky with the fading stars up in the sky. And I think to myself how much I hate Aaron because he's got it fucking made with this fantastic house of his, this nice little piece of property tucked away out in the backwoods of South Dakota. God, I fucking hate him. I hope he dies. I hope he dies of syphilis. You piece of shit.
Can you believe the new internet already stopped working after 3 days? Can you believe that, huh? Huh? Yeah. I know, Starlink. It seems so many fewer moving right. See, Starlink's out in the atmosphere, right? Or the space, right? It's not where the humans are to fuck shit up. It goes from your little box to a satellite. There's no humans. No fucking creatures to fuck shit up. This from Bloomberg. Gen Z. Oh, I didn't want this one. Well, we got to read it now, right, Bloomberg? Because if I back out and say, "Oh, you tried to watch the video, but you tried to read the article again." Oh, now it's behind a paywall, so we're going to read it now. This was going to be the big punchline. All credit scores are going down, apparently. Fastest since the financial crisis, but this one said Gen Z, and I'm like, oh, like really? Because by the way, if you didn't know, all the media wants to like divide you into different groups, which sometimes, analytical wise, yeah, there's point and purpose in doing that. But this is just like, oh my god, it's dramatic. Click on the article, but this actually happens to be true. Gen Z leads biggest drop in FICO score since financial crisis. The average FICO score slipped to 715. That's actually good. That gave me happiness and joy. In April from 717 a year earlier, making the second consecutive year-over-year drop. Gen Z borrowers saw the largest drop, with their average credit score falling 3 points to 676, and 14% of the group having a score decrease of 50 points or more. I guess people want their money back for the student loans, huh? Credit scoring agency attributed the recent overall drop to higher rates of utilization and delinquency, including the resumption of reporting student loan delinquency. There it is. Gen Z borrowers took the biggest hit of any age group this year, helping pull overall credit scores lower in the worst year for U.S. consumer credit quality since the global financial crisis roiled the world's economy. Well, here's my question. Is it 2% or 2-point drop? I didn't even 2%. A 2-point drop from 717 to 715. My economist eye says that's a rounding error. Are minor changes in credit scores like that a big deal? Like, is it almost always solidly 717 and a 2-point drop is pretty bad? I kind of like, why is this news? Why was this sent to me? Marking the second consecutive year-over-year drop, according to a report released Thursday. Fuck, man, I'm so angry. According to a report released Tuesday by Fair Isaac Corp, the average score dropped 3 points to 687 in 2009. All right, so we still got a little ways to go, don't we? That's like 20 points away, 23, 25 points away. Gen Z borrowers saw the largest drop not only this year, but of any age group since 2020, with their average score falling 3 points to 676. The Montana-based creator of the FICO credit score said, FICO scores are a measure of consumer credit risk and are frequently used by U.S. banks to assess whether to provide loans. The scores typically range from 300 to 850. You know, back in my day, I did see scores in the 300s. I didn't know they could go that low. Saw a lot in the 400s. And maybe having worked at these piss shit banks with their piss shit borrower and the piss shit bankers that ran them, maybe I'm just accustomed to seeing a wider array of credit scores. I know it skews. Most people actually have a good credit score, to be perfectly honest. And it skews to when I saw the data. I'm like, oh, well, why the fuck was I on like the special needs lending committee? of the bankers, although that was 20 years ago. So back in the day, this is overall in 2019, it was 706. It recovered to a peak to 718, and now we're back on a downward trend. It's downward. This echoes concerns about a slowing economy. I don't know if we're officially in a recession or not, but it's going downward. Credit scoring agency attributed the recent overall drop to higher rates of utilization and delinquency, including the resumption of reporting student loan delinquencies, a category that had a record high of 3.1. Here's my question, like since 2020, right? Joey Biden allowed you to continue being children and no one had to pay their loans back. So I guess everyone's credit score went up artificially. In other words, 2019 should be the baseline, right? We should all be back at 706, which is still a pretty good score. But when you treat the adult population, Zoomers or older, all the adults like, you don't have to pay anything back. Here's some money. Oh, yeah, we're the greatest nation on the planet. Well, yeah, everyone's credit scores go up, right? Didn't they also like not you couldn't kick people out of their homes, right? Like wow, so you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to pay your student loans back. Lord knows what other type of debt forgiveness or postponement there was. Yeah, everybody's credit, and then you gave everybody money. Yeah, I'd imagine people's credit scores went up. The credit scoring age of the delinquency resumption student loan delinquency is a category that hit a record high of 3.1 of the entire scorable population. So only 3.1%. I thought there was a higher percentage of people defaulting on their student loans. Some 34% of Gen Zs are still paying off their student loans compared to just 17% of the population. Okay, you know what? Points to Gen Zers is that low. Good for you guys. I believe 2/3 of the population go to school now. So you're saying half you guys already paid off your student loan debts? That's good, Gen Zers. Now, here's what's sad. Compared to 17% of the total population. Dude, what is almost 1 in 5 of you 50-year-olds still doing with student loan debt? Like, what are 30-somethings doing with student loan debt? Holy fucking shit. Will you please pay that off, please? Yes, get a second job. Yeah, I don't care. Too bad. Too bad. Never mind. I'm not going to go into lecturing people why they should pay off their loans or at least keep up with the interest so it doesn't grow exponentially. The cohort was also likely to see their scores fall dramatically, with 14% of the group having a score decrease of 50 points or more compared to 10% of the population. 14 versus 10. So 1 in 10 saw their scores drop by 50 points or more. While the overall average score dropped, the median FICO score continued to rise to 745 from 744 a year ago, indicating that a large drop in the scores at the low end dragged down the average. All right. Meanwhile, within the amounts owed category of the FICO score, credit card utilization continued to rise. Utilization calculated as credit card balances divided by credit limits reached 35.5% after hitting a low of 29.6% in April of 2021. Is that when we were handing out the free gimme dats for all you? You thumb-sucking adult American adults, all of you? When the personal savings rate increased because of government stimulus and pandemic-era travel and entertainment restrictions. It takes a disease for you guys to get your credit scores back. Now, where's the one? Credit scores drop at fastest pace as Great Recession. This is what I want. So, once again, this is kind of a nothing burger. We're talking 2 to 3 points on a score of 850. And this is headline news at CNN. Credit scores are falling at the fastest pace since the Great Recession. Americans struggled to keep up with the high cost of living and return of student debt payments. The national average FICO score dropped by 2 points this year, the most since 2009, according to the data released Tuesday by the analytics company. Okay, then it must be, if it dropped by just 2 points in 2009, the thick of the financial crisis, then I got to imagine this is germane, and a 2-point average drop is significant. Sorry, I dealt with the most art-hearted Wyomingites and Minnesotan borrower dude bro washed up trailer trash tetanus-infected douche canoes ever. So I'm sorry, I was on the lower tranche. Just should have been a payday lender. That's all we were at the end of the day. Here's your office with a window. You're a payday lender. Why am I a glorified payday lender? National average FICO score although credit scores remain significantly higher than during the Great Recession, they are down for the second year in a row. FICO found a growing share of borrowers are falling behind on their car loans. Oh, do you guys Hellcat much? I wanted to find a Hellcat picture, but I couldn't find that one that was like obviously uh, open domain, free domain, public domain. Oh, but what a bunch of douche canoes standing on their fucking cars. Not a single one of you paid cash for them. Not a single one. FICO found a growing share of borrowers are falling behind on their car loans, credit cards, and personal loans. Younger Americans exposed to the double whammy of high student debt and low entry level hiring are under even more financial pressure. Hey, you young people going to listen to me now about not majoring in dumb shit? You going to listen to me now? That not orange man bad. That your school teachers, parents, and guidance counselors and professors all lying to you, telling you to follow your heart, money will follow. I'll say going and getting a Hellcat is a better deal than going to college right about now. Especially if you're majoring in the liberal arts. Go get a cool car. At least get something out of it. Gen Z borrowers experienced an average credit score drop of 3 points, the biggest decline in any age group since 2020 during the pandemic, according to FICO. The findings underscore the growing disconnect between the euphoria on Wall Street and the pessimism on Main Street. What euphoria is on Wall Street, CNN? Or is this just your standard Democrat talking point? I know you're CNN, you're an arm of the Democrat Party. Whores. Every single one of you. Democrat dick-sucking whores. I wish I was joking. While U.S. stocks continue to shatter record highs. What? Dow Jones Industrial Average. Did it shatter a high? Let's go the past year. Okay, it's up a little bit. I don't know if it shattered. And by the way, it just broke. It was pretty peaky 6 months ago. It's up 3%, it looks like, over the high. Use the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Yeah, it was flat for the past 6 months until last month, and we're just a little bit above. Is that shattering high, CNN? What's funny is CNN thinks young people even look at the stock market. They don't own any stock because CNN. Remember Fareed Hazad, whatever his name is, your affirmative action hire, wrote a book saying, keep going getting your liberal arts degrees. It wasn't that, right? CNN, didn't you tell these kids? Like, that book came out 10 years ago. Aren't you guys responsible? Saying, keep majoring, follow your heart, my heart, and money will follow. So shouldn't we say large dick sucking of the Democrat Party media organizations encourage young kids to go into debt for worthless shit? And that's the problem, not that stock prices went up. I forget that guy's name. We've seen a K-shaped economy where those who with wealth tied to stock market portfolio and rising home values are doing well, and others are struggling with high rates and affordability problems. Tommy Lee, senior director at FICO, told CNN. Mounting financial stress. Average credit scores fell sharply after the 2008 financial crisis as unemployment skyrocketed. American boo. Credit scores increased each year from 2013 to 2024 when they dropped by a single point, according to FICO. But FICO found that delinquency rates on auto loans, credit cards, and personal loans are at or near their highest level since 2009. Really? We learned nothing, huh? I think my minimalism course has been published for 5 years now. Bachelor of Economics has been published for 12. And Worthless, the Young Person's Indispensable Guide to Choosing the Right Major has been published for 14. And y'all still listen to the talky talk, nice feely, touchy feely people on the television show? You listen to the nice talk? You listen to Oprah? Does Oprah make you feel get warm fuzzies in your stomach that you don't have to work? These delinquency rates are more consistent with an economy in recession than one still in expansion, FICO said, according to that mortgage and home equity loan delinquency rates are still near historic lows. Okay, well, sorry, I hate to mention this, but the financial crisis of 2008, 2009, whatever you want to, that was more or less caused by housing. So it's kind of different this time around. 14% of Gen Zers have had large credit score declines. Student debt hobbles. Disproportionate, same thing. Going for a new college. Dmitry Solakis, 22, said he applied to hundreds of jobs after graduating from American Youth, a degree in international relations. Dimitri? Just say you don't want to work, Dimitri. Just say you don't want to work. It took Solakis 14 months to finally land a full-time job that he could have done when he was 16 years of age, but he stupidly went to school. I'm sorry, I added that last part. Or at least one that wasn't a scam, but the job he did get, a secretary at a law firm. Fucking dumbass. Where were you folks? Huh? Who let you get a degree in international relations? Fuck. Tell me you didn't have a dad without telling me you didn't have a dad. My credit score took a drastic hit because I had to compromise and take a job where I'm severely underpaid. No, you are appropriately paid. You owe $35,000 in student debt, but has had to pause repayments to focus on making his car payments. Why do you have a car? I've never had a car loan. Must be real wealthy and nice having the money to go get a car loan. Dude, every time taking a second job. Sue Murphy, a nurse in Philadelphia, took a Parent Plus loan to help fund her daughter's education. Oh, yeah? What was that in? Where's the father? $70,000 in student debt requires payments of just over $500 to make ends meet. Murphy went to the truck stop. So Murphy took on a second job. God bless her. There you go. Good. I want to know what did your daughter major in? What? 70 grand? You couldn't shop around and find something cheaper? It almost feels like it doesn't pay to be an honest, hardworking citizen in this country anymore. Madam, you are a hardworking person. Your daughter is the trust fund, baby. Why did you give $70,000 to your daughter to major in bullshit studies? I'm just going to assume. Plan has been made to make 10 years of payments and then have the balance of student loan debt forgiven because Murphy works at Temple Health in Philadelphia, nonprofit, blah, blah, blah. She proposes change by the Trump administration. Public thing, more whining, complaining. What did your daughter major in? It all starts at home. I'm sorry to Gen Z and especially the millennials that your parents failed you. They failed you so much. I'm sorry. And this is why for 14 years now, I wrote before that, I was pounding the table about worthless degrees. It took me a while to write a book. Are you done listening? Has a whiny, bitchy CNN article ever gotten one student out of poverty? One student out of debt? Increased anyone's credit score? No, it didn't. But you know what will? My Achieving Minimalism course, Theory and Practice, available for enrollment. Open for enrollment right now. Link below. Achieving Minimalism, Theory and Practice, available on teachable.com. If you guys look, God, it is almost like don't trust anyone over 30. I almost want to say fuck anybody over 30. Anyone 40 and older, it's too late. Like if you're half your life is gone and you're still in your student loan bailout, I took out 70 grand for my daughter and let her major in butt plug study. I need money. It's over. Like your life is kind of cast in stone. It's set in stone now. It's going to suck. Young people have yet to make the stupid mistakes the old people and middle-aged people made. And that's all I'm trying to do is prevent you kids from making the bad mistakes that people my age, even a little younger and certainly a little bit older made. Don't major in dumb shit. Don't go to college unless you really have to. Major in the right things. And above all else, I know college degrees is the highlight here. That's a luxury good, right? Especially if it doesn't result in a job, then it's just an experience. The college experience. Which is what? Poverty? Like 4 years of really, the college experience is a 4-year party, and then the rest of your life you're poor. Which you're not really poor because 30 grand is not all that much of debt, blah, blah, blah. You can pay it off working a second job. But goddamn, the average American sure has a hard time paying that back, don't you? You'll pay back thrice that for car loans because, ooh, cars are fun. But you just can't work the second job and nip it in the bud and be over with it. But one thing that is going to help you is I guarantee you all these, like the Dimitri, right? He's got a new car. He's got a car loan. Shit. Must be nice. Must be real nice to get and buy a car that you obviously can't afford. Like, why not buy the piece of shit cars that we had to do when we were younger? Never mind. It's that shit that's going to. Do you think Dimitri's new car loan is going to help him or hurt him with his finances? That's why I have that course, Achieving Minimalism, Theory and Practice. So at minimum, you get rid of this desire to buy shit you don't need, and you only buy what you need. And then surprise, the money adds up, and surprise, you don't have financial troubles, and then surprise, you get better sleep, and surprise, your health improves, and surprise, you got more freedom, and surprise, you live a better life. But Dimitri got himself a Hellcat truck or a fucking whatever. People piss away their money. Becky's got herself a Hermes handbag. Oh, good for them. And then they get to go and work 2 jobs, and life sucks for them, and they'll never own a house. So that is open for enrollment for the next 2 days. Closes at midnight on the 24th going into the 25th. You could find that at Teachable. And yeah, just stop being these whiners. All right. Super chats. We got 3. Hambone, $5. Are the girl bosses and Dubros maxed out? Yeah. But see, that always happened regardless of interest rates or recession. Inevitably, what happens is from 0 to 18, you're a child, and you live at home and mom and dad take care of things and pay for you. And you should be starting at 10. Like, here are chores and here's how you make money. And I'll shovel that person's driveway and go make $10. You should teach them independence so that at the time they're 18, they're adults. No. And then you have college where you just borrow money from the government and the taxpayer and you don't have to work. All right. So you don't work. And then everybody is always trying to enjoy the life they were promised in middle school and high school and college without having to work for it. And then comes the debt. Not that student loan debt wasn't debt, but then you go and you work some modicum of a job, and you max out your credit cards and you go get a home equity line if you get a home, and you get a car loan, right? Like Dimitri did. And that only lasts so long until you got to file for bankruptcy, or you can't even keep up the facade anymore. Like, your car is in disrepair. Your toilets don't flush. They start garnishing your wages with the student loan thing. You can't afford basic repairs. You can't afford your arm breaks. You can't afford the deductible. You don't have a health insurance, whatever. It starts to fall apart. You're in a shitty neighborhood. That veneer runs out by about 30. Definitely by 30. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't. Yeah, they're maxed out. And then the party ends because then Dubro Tanner starts getting a little fat. The girl bosses finally settle and start marrying, and they cohabitate to save money more than love. Spits out the kid, then the divorce. Now you're in your 40s, and look where the average American is in your 40s. You'll find them at Walmart. There's the life. But nowhere in there, like, I got to knuckle down, buckle down, pay everything off, do without so that I'm free by 30. And then I start saving up for retirement. No, it's just extend and pretend, home equity line. They never, ever grow beyond the age of 10. It's like, how do I avoid work? And it's just you borrow. And then and then now you're like this lady who's the nurse who's like, oh, I had to work and parent my daughter. And that's like, then your life is over. It's over. You're just going to work and pay debt. You're going to pay interest on debt. You had your life. It was up front. You had half your life. You didn't work, basically. You got to imagine you were somehow a smart person in college. You got some bullshit degree. Maybe you got a master's. You were downtown where all the action is. You got to live the life that you saw on television. It's too bad that it sucks. It's too bad it ain't sustainable. And too bad that it cripples you permanently for your life 40 and older. But fuck you. No one cares about you. They care about the younger people because that's the younger generation, the 18 to 35s or whatever. That demographic is the most important one. And enjoy your fucking life of debt slavery. You didn't have to sign on the dotted line. You could have gone to community college or school online or trade school, joined the military, but no, you all had to be the Beckys and Trishas of Edina. Hambone, $2. Sent you the healthcare info. Have a good one. Thank you. Robert S., $5. Tricolor, a subprime auto lender, is filed for Chapter 7 after fraud found on a $200 million bundled loan backed by J.P. Morgan. Subprime loans going to damage the U.S. again. I know, but it's not that big. $200 million, that's nothing. See, there it is. They're just trying to avoid work. They want to package loans and sell deals and get my commission, and then I'm going to jump ship and go to a different. Right. And, you finance bros are so fucking dumb. You finance this shit? You buy it on the secondary market? You package this crap and sell to naive investors? JP Morgan, huh? JP Morgan Capital, is that what the C is for? I presume it's JP Morgan. Dude, those guys would never give me a job. All those big-time Wall Street, big-time financiers, Citibank, all those guys, they wouldn't give me a job to save my life. Here they are. I could have stopped it. Yeah, I could have been your $1 trillion baby, but you guys, no. Oh my God. He's my nephew's frat roommate. Oh my God. Hold my penis and I shall give you a job at Goldman Sachs. What do you mean? What do you mean default and delinquency? What? Huh? My nephew, he's in charge of risk analysis with his degree in history. Oberstleutnant, $5. V Gates. Don't worry, boomers. No social security garnishments for your student loans. Trump let you off the hook. Oh, did he? Oh, I would have been like, you're a boomer and you got student loan debts or Parent Plus loans. Oh, we're garnishing your motherfucking shit. We're going to come on, baby, light your fire right fucking now. I go after your Medicare and Medicaid. Like, oh, yeah, we would pay this for your broken foot. But I see you co-signed for Bipsy, your precious little daddy's little sweetheart princess's degree in women's studies. Nope. You're paying cash for your broken foot, asshole. And I'd hire as president, not elect, dictator, beloved, supreme for life. I would hire Jim Morrison lookalikes, and then I'd have them sing, "Come on, baby, light my fire." I'd have them go and sing as their wages were getting garnished. All right. Achieving minimalism theory and practice. You got 48 hours. By the way, you got 45 days to take the course. You can enroll. The enrollment period is basically 2 more days. You have 45 days to take it. And then if you do what's in the course, which I don't know how you're not, because I basically yell and scream at you in the course and provide very compelling philosophy why you should maybe, stop spending on you. If you do what's in the course, then your finances will improve. But if you don't do what's in the course, then your finances won't improve. But you know whose problem that is? It's your problem. All right. See you guys later, Toodles.